We are at the Thai border. Check it out. So it took us, we left at 4:14. What time did we leave, Isaac? So Isaac's behind the camera, by the way.
4:34.
So we left Penang at 4:34 from Tanjung Bunga, Fetish Park area. We were sitting at 140, occasionally 150, and 6:13, less than 2 hours. We're at the border checking in. So that included getting all the paperwork done. So there are all these pop shops just before the border where you give them your passport, the vehicle ownership certificate, and they get all the documentation done so they can drive the car through. So that's what we're doing. We're a bit early, which is good because there's not much traffic, and yeah, we're just gonna go through, get the car checked through, get our passports looked at, and we will be about half an hour before we get to Hat Yai. So the reason why we're going to Hat Yai is because this new mystery drift machine is automatic. So we're getting a manual box for it, and it's an R154 modified box. Obviously the new car runs at JZ. I won't tell you what JZ yet, but it's one of the JZs. Maybe one, maybe two, right? So yeah, so we get the box, we get you some videos we're there, and while we're there, we also want to see if there are any upholstery shops so that we can get some full bright bucket seats. And yeah, we'll go from there. So if we can't get them there at a reasonable price, we'll most probably get them from Sungai Petani, which is just another on the way back, which we can do. So we're trying to get back to Penang before lunch. So our journey started at around 4 a.m. and hopefully in the next 8 hours or so we are back home. Right, so we're putting the gearbox back in, not back home, back to the workshop. Right guys, keep it posted. Check it out. It's pretty cool. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but it is. All you needed was your passports, vehicle ownership certificate. If you're not the owner of the vehicle, you need a photocopy of the owner's passport and the owner's identification card, and that's all you needed. So it was 30 ringgit, which is like 12 Australian dollars, to get insurance and get all the paperwork done and filled in for you. So all you need to do is sign at 4 places, and yeah, that's it. So that's all the paperwork there, including all the insurances. I know it's a lot, but it was all done for us. So let's go get this gearbox. Yeah, boys. That's not mine. I'm vegetarian. I'm waiting for my food still. Well, we got the gearbox. We got all the parts. But is Gary's the guy who bought all this parts from. His name is Gary, and he's from the UK. He's got a shop here, a restaurant here in Hat Yai, and he's not here unfortunately. So he's flying back from Qatar. So he's in Bangkok at the moment, and I'm going to miss him by a few hours. So, but his brother-in-law took us around to go get the gearbox. The gearbox looks mint, and the clutch, I mean, everything just looks perfect on it, and some of the parts are even new. So thank you, Gary, you're a legend, man. And because if I went ahead and wanted to look for those parts, it's going to take me weeks, if not months, to get them all together. But Gary had it all together, so I kind of stole it off him. But Gary is so resourceful that he's already putting together another kit for himself, for his E46 BMW, running a 2JZ. Yep, so we're going to have a quick bite, and we're going to shoot back straight to Penang. Hopefully we can pick up a set of bucket seats on the way. The bucket seats here, the semi-buckets, are dead cheap. They're like $200 for a pair, Australian dollars for a pair of bucket seats, reclinables, and the fixed back ones are about how much was it? 6,000 bahts each. So they're about, I don't know, $200 each Australian. So yeah, it's twice the price of the reclinables, but it's still cheap. So what do we have here? Right, so this is a full fuel system harness that Michael Walker from Voodoo Auto Electrical made for me. Also comes with his own kill switch. So what this does is this will actually hook up the battery to the lift pump, and it'll also hook up the Surge Can's pressure pump, which is a Bosch 044. So you know, the reason why I get this done in Australia is because the quality of the components here is
a lot better from what I've seen in Malaysia, and in Penang Island especially. It's a bit hard to get a good wireman to actually get all this done, and Michael knocked this out in like half an hour, 45 minutes if I'm not mistaken. He's really good at his job, and he's pretty quick. So what it'll do is it will I'll have an extra kill switch here, which is more of a safety device, so I can most probably put this in the glove box and, you know, take the key away when I'm back in Australia, when the car is being parked in Malaysia. So even if someone tries to steal it, without that they won't be able to start the car. So that's the fuel system. And yeah, I lost my torque wrench the last time I went to Malaysia, so this is a big torque wrench that I got from Super Cheap Auto, just a basic one, so that I can get torque settings right. Of course, handbrake with a cylinder, or a slave, so what do you call this, brake master? I don't know the terms, but you guys know what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like the Mark II, we're going to delete this whole thing here. We're going to weld the shaft directly to that into a brake booster. So there's a Subaru brake booster in there, which will run the second set of calipers in the back. So we've got an Aristo 4-pot brake caliper just for the handbrake setup. So the reason why I do that is you don't have to actually, firstly it's an independent setup altogether, so it doesn't interfere with the current brakes of the car. Secondly, with the brake booster, it makes it so much more easier to lock up the back wheels compared to reefing on it and waiting, which I experienced in the past, where you got to wait for the brakes to grab. But with this setup, you can hear it with the vacuum, and it just locks up. So I run it on all my cars. The Mark II has it, the Sora drift car here has it, and the BMW E46 M3 is also going to have it. Not M3, the M3 is here. So this is an E46 318i, which has a 2JZ in it. That's what I got. Haven't seen the car yet at this moment of time, but that's what it is. So this is a Bosch 044 strainer kit from Raceworks, and what it does is it just sits at the bottom of the 044 pump. Oh yeah, this is just a gift for the new owner of the Mark II anyway, because Mark II doesn't have a standalone or any management at all, so I'm just going to give it to him because it's just been sitting on my shelf. So that's a genuine Bosch 044, and I got all the fittings for it to run a braided hose directly to it. And this one here is an AEM 350 litre per hour fuel pump. This will be the lift pump. So that's the fuel system there. That harness plus all these pumps is going to, and of course that surge can. It's a 2 litre surge can, and I got an AN6 10 meter hose and fitting kit. So it comes with 90 degrees bends, everything in there, brand new, ready to go. Well, the car is currently an automatic, 2JZ automatic, but I've got the day I land, I'm gonna go pick up, the next day actually, I'm gonna go pick up an R154 gearbox from Thailand, which has a custom bell housing to it. Like, I mean, it didn't need one, but it's running a Mazda XCD clutch kit on it, so the bell housing was modified, and it's a plug and play. It comes with the pedals, the clutch slave, the clutch master, switches, everything. And this is something I had sitting on the shelf for years. So ARP head and main stud kit, which will eventually go into the car if we ever need it. And because the car is going to become manual, the new flywheel will need some new bolts. That's my new car. So we got rid of the we sold the JZX81 Mark II, and this is the new E46. So it started life as a 2JZ with a 1J VVTi head. It's got a big 7676 ball winner turbo, and it's got a Link G4 Plus ECU on it on the east side, but it's still an automatic. So we drove up to Thailand, which is a video I showed you before. We drove up to Thailand to pick up a manual gearbox, and it's been converted to a manual. So we've got the whole conversion kit. We've got the pedals, we've got the pumps, we've got the gearbox, we've got a twin pack clutch from XCD, which
which was actually modified, so I'm not sure what kind of hybrid clutch that is, but it looks in pretty good shape. So let me show you around. So it's got a bit of money spent on it. So in there it's got coil pack conversions, which means individual coil packs in each cylinder. The fuel rail seems to be aftermarket. It's got aftermarket Brembos, 4-port in the front with big 300+ rotors. And the interior is pretty gutted, so we got a couple of bucket seats coming our way, and the rears are also upgraded brakes, but it's going to have a second caliper. It's going to have an Aristo 4-port caliper that will work the handbrake one. So we still need to work out where we're going to position that, but it's still a long way off. We can't seem to find LSDs for it, so we welded the diff. See how long that lasts. But as you can see, there's already a lot of fiber aero parts to it. It's got a good exhaust system. We'll do a quick walk around. And yeah, in the car, when I came back from Australia, it was a whole bootload worth of parts for it. So what we're doing is we're upgrading the fuel system at the moment. So it's going to have a 2-liter swell pot in the engine bay, which runs them on the line to the fuel rail. And what we're going to do with the leak pump, it's going to be a low pressure, high flow pump, which will keep the surge can filled up. And we have a Bosch 044 running from that surge can directly into the fuel rail. That's what turned up. Yeah, boy. So it took 4 days to get from Estonia to England to China, China to Thailand, Thailand to Penang. So we're going to get it installed in this thing. And I'm just in the middle of installing the fuel system. So usually the conventional way of installing fuel system and surge can is you put in the boot, run lines for the back, high pressure pumps to the fuel line. But I wanted to keep the boot usable, so we have put in a high flow leak pump, which is low pressure high flow from AEM 345 liters to this surge can here. And this surge can is the Bosch 044, which is going to go directly to the fuel rails on both sides. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to plumb it all into the regulator and see if it works. So the guy behind the camera, Honchun, is going to install the Y-step kit together with Nazar, getting the gearbox differential done.
How are you?
What's up? Let's unbox the switch. We're at Uncle Huat's shop again. Yeah, you're just getting the diff welded. So we're doing the proper
plate shut welds, so I've got to do the other side and we're pretty much done. Hey, what did I get again?
daily runabout. 150 fuel injected, liquid cooled, 20 horsepower Fury. Previously owned by this guy. Week number 3. So didn't progress as quick as I thought it would because we ran into some complications here and there, and there was a surge of other cars that needed to be done during the festive period. So here we are, interior is out again. So we've installed the gearbox, Y-strap is installed. The what else have we done? Oh, the rear diff has been welded and installed. The long shaft or the drive shaft has all been installed. And Nazar is in the middle of welding up, fabbing up a bracket for the hectic hydro setup. And yeah, so gearbox all being drained. They are also bleeding the brakes at the moment. Clutch, because the BMW uses the same reservoir for the clutch and the brakes, so you have to bleed everything in one hit. Otherwise, right, let's go take a quick tour, see what's happening. Master Yoda here, working his magic. You can see the handbrake is being installed, and it's got a shaft that will come through, and it's going to run that brake booster, which will then activate these brakes temporarily. I mean, we haven't gone with the dual brake setup yet just due to time restriction, but when I leave back to Australia, it'll have a second caliper there where it should be activated with one. Other than that, so we're going to make it as usable as possible. You can see the shifter just sits pretty well.
Maybe you're going back to Australia. The car is not done yet.
Oh my god. That's a rig. What's up, Manlung? Manlung, take two, Manlung. So that's the rear diff. Color scheme thanks to our boy, Manlung there. What's up, Jason? Taking a break between the build. The Satra needs some seals looked at, but that's been the runabout at the moment, just right behind me. So yeah, it's just leaking from a few places. Minor O-rings and oil cap, and that's about it. We're getting them replaced. 1.5 litre, small little TD04 down there. Homemade catch can. Disconnected blower valve because it doesn't work anyway. Replacing the power steering line banjo bolt O-ring there. New oil cap. It's got adjustables all around. Upgraded brakes. Rear brake conversion. Makes 212 horsepower. Dyno tuned. It's a 1.3 gearbox, which gives it hectic acceleration. Aftermarket clutch. First startup.
it's finally home. So good news and bad news, it's home, but it only made it up to the driveway because the clutch gave up. Not the clutch, I think it's the clutch slave that gave up. No pedal feel, and it seems to be stuck in neutral regardless of what gear I put it in. So so what's going to happen is, looks like I'm not going to be able to finish it before I get home this time, or even take it for a test drive, because the suspension is too soft. Handbrake is not done, and yeah, it just needs a few niggly things done, which will take some time to get done. So what's going to happen is it's going to get a flatbed, and it's going to be transported via a flatbed to the workshop again, where it'll be finished. Like, that console needs to be finished as well. Like, you know, it's hacked up at the moment, but we got a custom cover coming for it, hopefully carbon fiber. So that's not done either. So if you've seen all my drift cars, they usually have a vacuum assist handbrake setup, so where there will be a brake booster here, and these are the lines that are going to go to the second caliper. So the second caliper hasn't been installed yet either, so it's just there, mocked up, ready to go. You're also going to get a new cube shifter, short shifter by Cube Australia for the R154s. So it'll never be finished. It won't be finished till I get back. But there's just a few small little things that I'm gonna have to do, and then the tow truck will come and get it when I'm back in Australia. And hopefully it's finished before I come home again. Thanks for watching, guys. Next episode, hopefully we'll be drifting this thing. But we can't forget this guy, cameraman. What's up, Hanjun? Where you going? Come on, show us you're right, man. Come on. Gymkhana champion? Right. So Hanjun uses this for Gymkhana. And he's won the what? What did you win the other day?
I won newbie top place.
Newbie top place. Well, it's taken a bit of a beating because he's been giving it a hard time, but it sounds good, goes good. 1.5 or 1.3. 1.3 carby. All it has is now suspension and an exhaust. That's where everyone's got to start, handling and exhaust.